I don't say I love eating, down from here. They love eating bush meat, responsible bush meat. And coincidentally too, no, when you see responsible bush meat now you love it all. So they normally invade the forest to feed or to perch on those dead bodies. And at the end of the day now, the hunters will go kill them, then they will now sell them and they don't mention you. They will now sell it, people will buy it and eat it. So the health challenge is also much. If rain should fall now, it will wash the mountain, the area, the one stream, and the people go there to get water to drink. So hopefully by Friday, Saturday, we'll be discussing that more.
I think our eyes have been enlightened to sky area.
China. So when you mentioned, I was like, I'm for it. That's why I was like,
But this is not sky bed and it's a mountain bed.
All right, so let's leave sky and come to the earth, and in the earth proper location, Protea Hotel, and to be more specific, what we talked about yesterday. I'm seeing her hand is not long enough for me. No, so we are here now. So I'll remind us again. I thank you very much, Dr. Chus, for that recap, what you learned yesterday, what you're taking forward. And my organ wants to speak, but so I'll give him the mic. Mark, please, I'll come to you. You can't keep him.
Mine just a question. I want to find out with all these great things we are doing in Edo State, do we have something like a coalition of civil society against gender-based violence?
Yes. Yeah.
There is. Yes.
are you going to register us?
Okay, I think we should. Yes, we'll pass a paper around to those that are not there.
That part, for the coalition. They actually, there's a couple of HIV.
Yes, the service provider.
Coalition that they are doing, for example, we need yes. So what I'm saying is that we need to
harmonize.
Need to harmonize. Not that I can go ahead and I wanted to set up one before in my own center, but that will not make some good sense. We need to harmonize so that when we are sharing information, you know the platform where you are sharing for information.
So you see how that will work before we begin how to harmonize. Because I know we have different ones, BHI, different learning platforms, NAPTIP have stakeholders, we have, but we need to bring it together under one umbrella. All right, so please, can we listen to the next sound you'll be hearing? I'm sure you'll be impressed.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Evelyn Osio. I'm here more or less personally, but to represent the president of the African Women Empowerment Guild, Dr. Nosa Aladishilu. I'm so glad yesterday I was in the Women Affair program, and I was impressed. I love that stop sign, hallelujah. So I'd like to talk about our pastor as well. Now, I blessed being here. You know, we are yet to understand the power of the one of the billboard behind. It's like a billboard, more like a stand board. The one with the stop sign and the lady giving sort of shunning. Do you understand? Shunning. It looks like she's shunning, but she's in pain. That's the best logo I have ever seen. And I'm sure it's part of this concept. And then when you look at the women behind with the United t-shirt, you see the curved bob hair and the front clothes of the lady. All you're seeing right there is the voice of the women. It looks silent, but it's loud. And somehow I felt a little bit bad that somehow there were a whole lot of people that came in and there was a listing, and our needed to stay away, but thank God for Dr. who hasn't had a word from our director, and so she has asked me to come back. The listening to what I heard yesterday was a boost to let me know I cannot be stopped as well. As a woman, I cannot be stopped. As a man, you cannot be stopped. So we want to tell everybody out there that the woman can be heard. The girl child is important, and we all need to be heard. And in this concept, this idea is going to be sold to the world. There is more to do. We got to do more. When the young man was talking about the school yesterday, the school is where we start from. We got to go to the crutches. All of the babies have to know that they're important and they cannot be stopped. Do you understand? So this is so much I took from yesterday and I'm back again to add more to myself. Please know that you cannot be stopped. And yesterday while the feeder woman was talking, I had one of the biggest copyright infringement lawsuits in the world. It rose to a tune of 285 billion naira in 2007. That's $2.4 billion when the dollar was 117. When it was 117 to a dollar. Okay? $2.4 billion. Do you know what made me know I cannot be stopped? It was a singular fact by me. So people in this program, we need to know the importance of the law. What do you gain when you not obey the law? There's so much to gain. I was told, even this is Nigeria, anybody can assassinate you. You'll be killed. People die. I didn't listen to nobody. God said, go to court, I went to court. And who was there to defend me? The Nigerian Copyright Commission. Because I obeyed the law to the letter. So obey the law. If you are a professor, whoever you are, obey the law. If the government is doing anything, obey the law. The law does not bite them that obey the law. It bites them that break it. So I'm glad I'm in this program. God bless you in Jesus' name.
Are you just looking nice? Please have another round of applause for be nice. You know, if you come and stop, obey the to the lady that was raising her hand. I saw you and I see you now.
All right, thank you very much. I was about to say what my brother was talking about when he was talking about sky barrier, and I want to tell you that from Akoko Edo and I'm from Opamiri, and equally saying that word, it all depends. What me I want to ask is this: if you say sky barrier should be abolished, it's a good thing that I would like. But the children of those people who are into these things, they are not being forced to eat. These children are the ones that will bring their parents out to say that my mother is a witch. Go and throw her away. So now it is nothing. It's not something like they are dragging your mother and you are holding your mother to say no, don't throw my mom away. And it's like it's not a flaw. But rather these children are the ones calling people that please come and help me. She's my mom. She's a witch. Go and throw her away. So that is why even when I'm part of those who will be going, but even when we are going, I do ask myself, like, how can government actually fight this? When these people are not like being forced to eat. If I have a parent, when my mom died, my father died, I decided that we're not going to test her. She's buried in my house. No one has forced me to go and throw her away. It depends on these people. They are the ones saying my mom is a witch. So what do we do in such condition?
Alright, so the answer.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry. No, I'm coming. Madam. No, we need to. No, excuse me.
I'm calling you. The assigned of I will not give you time. It's not carrying out.
And sky better cross you are going to the sky.
I'm tapping myself.
Good morning, everyone. My name still remains Chuksuko. I took home yesterday about infusing our women into community dialogue and decision making. Very vital and very key. Now, I also forgot to mention yesterday that in advocacy against violence against women and girls, we do so much to lecture our girl child, the female children. We do so much, both the parents, the father rather, the mother. But we fail to also lecture the male children, not the way to behave. Because some of this will come from the boys and the men. And so some of them grow up not being taught the manner at which should treat a lady. And so I forgot to mention it, which is part of the responsibilities of our mothers and our women that should be infused into the community. So they could lecture their boy child as they are growing. You talk to a girl and she says no. Know that no. When you are toasting a girl and she's telling you, giving you a cold shoulder, please leave her alone. Those are the lectures our parents, our mothers should be also doing to the men. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think we're about rounding up this discussion, but I have 3 more persons, beautiful ladies that have not spoken. I'm going to them gradually. I love the way she's putting her hand on her chin. She's just waiting for me. So I'm here. Thank you. Tell us what you learned yesterday, what you have decided to do going forward.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Charity Choji, and I work with Partner Alliance. So I was so happy to be here yesterday. I learned a lot. So many things to take back home with me. So I was really excited when I heard the feeder person and what she said they do, the pro bono services which are all free, which is so good. But what I'm really interested in is more of prevention. Like the theme for this year is invest to prevent violence against women and girls. So I think my take home is to invest more. Prevention is key. Instead of coming to solve the issue afterward, what are we doing to prevent that violence from happening? So I should invest more in sensitization, in schools, in the grassroots, spend more money, invest in training people, sensitizing, paying advocacy, even to the traditional rulers and all. Like there are some issues and cases I've heard of women not reporting GBV issues, especially domestic violence from their partners, where they say a woman should not report her husband to the police and to the authorities. So that is really stopping us from doing our work. We're here, we say, okay, report GBV cases, and then we hear from other people that, okay, this is going on here, these are the issues going on there. This one was, okay, my neighbors, the husband is always beating. So those are the challenges. So I feel we should pay more advocacy to all those traditional rulers and community, as we also do more sensitization in the schools and also in the home too. We need to try to abolish the gender norms and the societal norms that we grew up with. All those norms are not, we're not born with it. We learn them and we can also change them. And I feel that's what really needs people to train our children, our boys and girls, not just saying only the girls, just like the last speaker spoke about talking to the boy child. So that's the truth. If we're always focusing on girls, saying, if the boy touches you, scream, you know, and all of that, and to go and be touching other people's daughters. So what we say in the presence of those children, they are all empty slates, as they are little, they are blank. So whatever we feed them is what they grow up to be. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, so much. This is to encourage us that as the program starts today, please let's jot down, let's take notes, and so that by the time we're done with these 2 days, we can say, this is what I actually came here to gain and achieve. Thank you very much. The second to the last speaker going.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Openyi and I work for Genius Hub. Yesterday was really fantastic. Really give voice to what they have done. I also learned that it's not just enough to point fingers, oh, this person has facility, the case management systems, and funding. Then I learned also from what Father said, how they have taken their campaigns, they have cascaded it down, they have gone to communities, they have reps, you know, they have some actionable points that they made. Then for everything generally that I'm taking away, I'm looking at how we can collaborate, all of us, so that we can speak one voice. I do something else, so that we can have a holistic approach in that particular community. I'm not destroying what they are doing, instead I'm standing on what they have done.
God bless you, sir. Thank you for saving me. Now he's supporting me.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Msdgi Friday Robosa, a community representative. I was impressed that I came to the gathering yesterday. I learned so many things, and by the grace of God, I'm the liaison officer between the Ekokwa houses, over 45 communities, and the government.
You still learn for free?
I called our Royal Highness yesterday when I got to the person of Anthony Society, the Honorable of Msdgi, and I will also beg the organization, the person of Abraham Ipode, if we can have a gathering of such to have this kind of orientation or lecture with the entire Yekoba, because we have a gathering where we hold meetings, and so that they will give them more about gender violation, so that we can protect our female children. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much. Just a minute. My sister, hello. You see, everything in this life has advantages and disadvantages. But in taking a decision, you have to consider the common good of all. For example, as having your female genital mutilation, it is bad. Some of us are fully against it. But yet, we still see some parents who will still carry their female child for it. So you cannot, because of that, now say you're not going to talk about it. The consequences of the child that I mentioned is more than the benefit. And if you look at the percentage of those that go for it, it's very, very significant. It is better for us to be in. Thank God, part of our intervention, we will have a stakeholder session with some relevant person in the community. You get their views, appreciate their point, and now best to counsel them and advise them so that we can have a healthier community. Thank you very much for my sister. I discuss after. Thank you very much, man. I'm not to be here for now.
All right, thank you. Thank you. When I see fair people, the baby my room for all of the lips professor. I'm proud of one of the fairest in this line. So please tell us what you learned yesterday and what you are committed to doing going forward. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Felicia Owari. Is it because I'm fair the light has to go? I said for this stakeholders meeting, the various organizations and representatives I met, I was glad to be, and I'm still glad to be in our midst. When it comes to the topic for discussion on the gender-based violence, I learned and gathered so much from FIDA, the state coordinator, how she spoke about prosecution of victims and perpetrators. It was an eye-opener for me that this happens in Edo State and not everyone is aware. I also like the contribution from Genius Hub, the young man who asked, no, a young guy spoke on behalf of Genius Hub yesterday. Yes, he talked about advocacy and how advocacy should be taken into the community for better awareness. Information is actually being hoarded. Information is being hoarded. When it comes to what you know and wanting to pass the knowledge to others, some persons are not readily available to give it. So I would want to also stress on awareness on organizations. Let's see how we take it to the local communities. Let's see how we take it to our neighbors. So much I gathered there yesterday. I would say within circle of some of my friends, not everyone is aware. Some of us have been personally victims of violence, even as, let's say, schooled and intelligent as we are, and we don't even know what to do. And it's still very much going on. I don't want to narrate cases of what even me I went through, and I never knew organization is here in Edo State to handle it. I had to call those in Lagos, and they handled it on my behalf. And so please, me, I'm really key on that awareness and advocacy of information dissemination. So I hope too that from organization, I'll push for that they are in Lagos, and the one that operates here is maybe of migration. We see cases where victims of returned migrants who were coerced or formed victims to irregular migration journeys. They don't know who to turn to for how do I get justice for this act of dehumanizing conditions I was subjected to. And now I'm back home. There is no one to hold on to for prosecution. Although they know the person, they can point fingers, and yet you don't know to go. But I know one-on-one, I'll give a call further to the state coordinator of FIDA to find out for cases of irregular migrants, of returned migrants on irregular migration journeys, who handles it in those states. We all hear of big international organizations, but at times it's just empowerment programs. What happens to the angle of justice to be said to one who was paid, who cash went to, and then who spearheaded that journey, and then they became victims of dehumanizing conditions. So I learned a lot yesterday, and with the people that have also come to go through this stakeholders meeting, I'll say thank you to each and every one of you.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you. All right.
Thank you. I think yesterday was it was a nice outing. It was the first time we see the high table and the low table. I love it. And a lot of things, a lot of points was made up, like they were identify issue for advocacy, like the victim protection. I don't know how we can also manage resources. I think that those areas identified is a good thing for me, that we are committed to see how we can work with other relevant people who's already working on that field to see how we can advocate for more opportunities in that area, because of the delay in justice system and the protection of those victims is not so guaranteed. You see them withdrawing from a case even when they know they want to win, and there are so many areas in the law, like the delay, the DPP. We are also, as an organization, going to take that as an advocacy area we want to work on and see how we can work with other relevant organizations that have funding. You know, our work as CSO is funding intensive. We need fund to do, and this fund is no longer coming. So we also identify organizations working in that area that have funding for that area, who also develop our capacity to advocate for how we can start asking for the change of this law. And on the VAP law, we also want to make it, let everybody have access to it. Let us study this VAP law. If this VAP law is truly representing the interest of every woman, every male in Edo State. Until we use it and study it, we will not know the lacuna in the VAP law. And it's only when we know this lacuna earlier that we will not go to court, spend money, and at the end, the perpetrator will go scot-free. It's time we all study the VAP law, look at some areas that, there was one area that talked about indecent exposure. And when the lawyer explained that indecent exposure, it was promoting, it was supporting those people who rape people who dress the way they want to dress. And it is an indecent exposure. That means that a girl cannot wear handless. And even what my auntie is wearing now, for me, if I'm the type, I can call it anything. That area, we need to look at some of this area that is not clear and see how we can work on it before they will start using it against women. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I've been told that 4 more persons have not spoke. So please, I'll just identify the 4 persons that have not spoke so that we can wrap up this center. Someone, please, you've not spoken. I can't see in the middle. Hello, beautiful auntie with a blue phone. I know you look like a professor. You've not spoken. So one, two, you, my guy. I don't know what you are doing, not speaking.
Good morning, everyone. I want to say parents are involved. Sometimes these people that define the children, the adults, they are parents. Sometimes you see professors, you see pastors, you see people with dignities. If the children are not properly brought up, sometimes we have two characters. Parents will be pretending that they are good out there, but at home they are something else. Our children are seeing us. If you are not doing the right thing in the house, you are not doing your children the way they are to when they go out, what they are supposed to do outside. You are not doing the right thing. Children will copy you. Because sometimes you see our parents outside, they are set, but at home, have you seen a big thing, a situation where a father will be coming in, the child will say, "Dad is coming, Dad is coming." Parents are not loving their children. You see a father, when the father is entering the house, the children are going, everybody is trying to hide this, what he or she is doing. But outside, the father is a saint. And these children, they are watching you. But anything, what you sow is what you reap. Whatever you think you are doing outside, you think you are doing saint outside, these children out there, they might see the little ones you are doing that is not right. So I'm always saying that these children that defy all the little ones outside, give back to them. So we need to still educate ourselves. Sometimes we just think we are doing it, the children are not seeing us. I want to tell you they are watching us.
Let's see generalization. Because I don't know what pastor professor did, but let's see generalization. Because it is not entirely true. It's not, I agree with you, but it's not entirely true. That's why I use the literature English. I feel like preaching now. I said it's best generalization. Let me not enter my zone. Yes, I agree with you that we have such things, but we still see it in every way. Yes, thank you very much for your contribution. You have not spoken to me. I'm sure you learned a lot yesterday, and you're looking very beautiful today. The rule is that you don't want to talk to the exist. You will tell us, look at it, it's up to you. You will either tell us, no, sorry. Either you say something or you read the question. You must say something. Thank you very much. Prof cannot tell you how to. Prof is very far from where you are. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Kate. I'm glad to be here. In fact, yesterday I didn't want to come. Actually, I was busy in the office, but I picked out time to be here. I learned so much that I was like, wow. So first of all, I appreciate Prof idea that she said it's good that women should take part in sometimes in community development, and which I really felt that it was really important, because when these messages of sexual violence based something comes to our locality, it is actually the women that it affects, and they know how to take this message down to the root. When the message comes to the men, it's just like bam. It's just like they are not really involved. They don't feel the pains, if not until it happens to them. Even when it happens to them, I really believe that the men doesn't have that feelings compared to the others. That aside, then I really learned about the police side of it, and that they were prompt to action. And what they didn't talk about yesterday was the fuel stuff. So I think today she's going to talk about it if there's time for that. And I thank all the various group that was here yesterday. I learned so much. Just to mention a few, I really enjoyed myself. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. With that, we come to the end of the recap. A round of applause for me. It's not loud though.
Thank you. That was a very wonderful recap. It's time for tea break. Some tickets were shared. If you have a meet ticket, please just go for your tea break while we settle the rest. But it's fine. Don't worry, it's fine. It's fine. Please, yeah, you can just make order. You can try to go row by row. Okay, you want to answer before we eat. Okay. Our feeder. Wait.
Morning there. How are you today? Welcome. This one, they can see it. Is there what's not?
No, I can't do without you.
Why not tell me the back?
Every day. It's when I saw you. So why you go to the king? I didn't know. I was not walking down window.
I
Cook it and that is your here. You bring cook and bread. Cook and bread. No, cook and bread. Big there. That one is or about 7 up. Somebody's back. 7 up.
Take down.
Go get cafe. The 7 up can be the They won't get much. But if you are not choose to drink coke, and there is no importance of coke. They drink coke.
Doing a lot of work. So it's your calling to do what you doing a lot of work.
We can.
Everywhere's cut. You know what happened? I found a way at the night. Sometimes the two days I back on my car. So now, over 50 years, back when the man tell me I post. I was looking for something to hold. That I call hold something like this. But after about 20 minutes, I call banners. I call that I would have looked at every God of cover my boat. The whole food down. Not to hold. Why can I get before? But I would have to get hand away from I don't see again. That's the man why I agree. So what do you do? How you doing? Can you help me on those? The trouble. Because that is Madam Figures in my home, and I had a problem by people, and I had to keep my time. Okay. I think we are done with the tea break. Let's get settled a bit so that we can quickly wrap up today and leave this space. Madam Director, maybe what is your okay. So the session we want to the session we are getting into now is a presentation on the role of CSOs in preventing violence against women and girls. We had a lot yesterday, but let's see how we can synchronize some of the things we had yesterday with what the presenter is giving us today. Then, immediately after his presentation, we can just go ahead and have an interactive section on the paper that is presenting. Unfortunately, we are going to skip this first presentation, which is a presentation of a proposed tool for aggregating gender parity in the state. I'm glad that the PS spoke about that this morning, where she said, yes, Edo State, the index she saw, that Edo State was actually doing well in some other area. It's when it got to a particular report or something like that, that Edo State, they said Edo State because the data wasn't there. So I think we want to look at what are those tools. Like I said yesterday, what has worked maybe in Lagos State. Lagos State is actually a very good to the ministry, and I'm very sure the ministry will buy into that. Before I call Mr. Abraham, there's something that one of my said that, look, civil society most times we are good at saying, oh, this policy is bad, there's no policy reform, this thing is not good enough, government is not doing this, government is not doing this. He told me, he said, look, if you don't have an alternative to what is existing, just shut up. Yeah. If you don't have an alternative to what is existing, just shut up. So I want to believe that we in Edo State civil society, once we are talking to government, we have an alternative, and the alternative that is well researched. You know, our engagement should be more evidence-based, scientifically proven things, not our dear parlor conversation. People said, people didn't say. We should talk like professionals. I think that is the only way you can humble government. Another thing is that don't go to the table with government and you are not coming from the point of what will I put it now? You don't have a superior, yes. You don't have a superior argument. Exactly. You don't have a superior argument to overcome that of the government. And somebody you are coming to meet actually have a superior argument over yours. The person might not just respect you. But when you are going, get prepared and have a superior argument and think of how it's working elsewhere. That's why I also suggest that the comparative analysis is very important before you meet Edo State government. Find out what is happening in other states, especially those states that are ahead of us, and present the fact the way they are. They definitely will listen, because they also want their government to leave a very good legacy behind in what they are doing. So these are just the points I want to share with you. Join me to welcome Mr. Abraham, the Executive Director of Society for Awareness and Family Initiative, for this presentation. Thank you, Mr. Abraham. Good morning, everybody. Okay, before I continue, let me just show you some of the British Council have trained us to be media visible. So you can just follow us on our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and like it. Okay, you can write it out. Wait, they're still writing. Are we okay? No. Okay. Okay, you can snap. This is part of the collaboration that we'll be talking about. If all of us like ourselves, follow ourselves, we see what each other is doing, it's easy to collaborate. True of us. True. All right.
So once you follow us, we'll follow you back. Once you like us, we'll like you back. And even the government institutions now, they are also on social media. The government is going digital now. So everybody is going digital. And all right, Mr. John. All right. I will also tell you there's a live streaming going on right now. GTV, Grassroots TV at YouTube. So you can also be online and follow. We have some of the media guys that are here. This gentleman here, this gentleman here. They are from a content creating agency. In short, what they are doing here, they came to cover this thing live and free of charge. Please, let's put our hands together. Okay, so they will be doing content creating for this work and also on Safi and all that. And very soon you will start seeing it globally. We're also tagging and tweeting live, so you could also see all that on the social media. I'm not a director general that will do closing remarks, but before I will still continue, I want to appreciate the EU Act and the British Council. Please let's put our hands together. It's not easy to bring people like us to Protea to have this engagement. Apart from the we are having, we're also being taken care of very well. You know, the civil society work it's like pro bono. I hope we know. Just like feeders.
It is.
It's pro bono. Okay. So Tawaka is insisting I should stress. It's pro bono. It's pro bono. Not just feeder. It's pro bono. So some of the things we enjoy in something like this, then we go for one seminar or the other. At the end of the day, when we come back, we get our boots dirty and we're in the grassroots. Is it not so?
Wash and get back to the field.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, so this is the outline. We're going to be looking at assessments. We'll look at the gaps in state gender-based violence, child early forced marriage. We don't talk much about this here, is it not? People talk more about it in the north, but it's happening even in our state. Then we'll look at the GBV working tools. We'll look at the Global Gender Gap Index. Proposing for the outcome of the workshop and our rules. If we remember our former Minister for Women Affairs, in 2022, she said there were 34 states in Nigeria that have domesticated the baboon. Yesterday, a lady was saying that it's now 35.
It's the Kano that has not domesticated. Every other state has.
Beautiful. Only Kano that are not domesticated. Every other state are domesticated. Okay? I think we should clap for ourselves. Okay, so the fight has been principally through word of mouth, awareness creation, media sensitization, community engagement, arrest and prosecution of the offenders. So, why are we doing all this? Why are we doing all this? to protect women and girls from violent persons, isn't it? There are some human beings that are supposed to be in prison. They are not supposed to be walking on the street.
Psychiatric home.
Yeah, psychiatric home. You've heard of the story of Tina Okilia, the lady that was shot on the hand. And when the case was brought to us, I was in Abuja when the case came into our office, and we quickly tried to intervene. Initially, we wanted to manage it, but the man started throwing money. The man was throwing money, so I was like, yesterday we were talking about people having the resources to fight back.
Yes.
Is it not so?
Yes.
And by the time we saw that the man was ready to start throwing money, we had to now shout and call for help. And that's how the first lady got involved. And the lady has been bearing the abuse. In short, the man had threatened all her family members with the same gun more than 4 times. So they don't come to the house. So when we talk about speaking of, you see the thing now culminated into boy, make a bar for me. Now rise the house. That was all. So those are some of the issues we'll be talking. So, however, there might be other related matters that also needs the attention of policymakers. We are just focusing on GDP. There are some, like this neck-breaking burial rights. We are not really talking about. I just buried my father-in-law, and I know what we spent and what we went through. The state needs to start looking at that issue too. Those days they say it's nice burials. It was armed robbers that helped us to change that culture. So you discover that it's not really about tradition or, as a sociologist, we know that culture is dynamic. Is it not so? So we can see anything that is no longer workable for the society, we need to start changing it. We need to start changing it. And that's part of the reason why all of us need to look at it together, bring suggestions to the ministry and all that. Marriage is simple. Some people sell things, borrow. Cesarean operation. You must born like the Hebrew women. We need to start also talking to women about that. We've known of women that have died giving birth instead of going through CS. One of my sister-in-law, she just, when they told her that she needs to do that, she was praying. We said, this one is not praying. Doctor, I beg, attend to this. Because she has already crossed 45. So we're not interested in prayer. So we're just mentioning some of these issues, okay? So the ministry need to look at all that. All right. Don't worry, you'll get the slide. If you need the slide, you'll get it. Now, for the assessment, now, looking at the GBP methodologies adopted in the states, CSOs and state actors, these are some of the questions we should be asking ourselves. How has it been working out for the state? Has it been working, this fight against gender-based violence? Is it working? It's working. Okay. How was it before the beginning of the fight? And how is it now? Some people are saying it's working. How do you know it's working? Are people now more informed and enlightened? If yes, how many? How are you measuring it? Do we have a GBV baseline studies in Edo State? I don't think we have. If I'm wrong, can somebody correct me? Do we have?
Let me speak. Myself and Blessing were part of the survey that was carried out by Activisim. Okay, so I was saying that myself and Blessing were part of the survey that was carried out by 10% Nigeria to actually get the baseline for Edo as part of other states surveys that was ongoing. I think at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
Okay, what about the report now? Who is with the report?
Technically Nigeria.
Did they share it with the state?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
Okay, go ahead. This is where I'm going now. If we have for every project that needs to be done, like the World Bank, before you start, you need a baseline. So, doctor, is it also? We need a baseline. Sure. The baseline will not help us to measure any achievement. For the states, as far as I'm concerned, Mr. John, we don't have. If that organization have carried that out, probably they need to collaborate with the ministry so we know. Because when we say we are fighting the gender-based violence, at every point in time, we need to look at where we are coming from, where we are, and where we are going. For now, it's as if every one of us is just walking. We are walking, but we are walking in silos. We are not working together. Okay? So are we making progress or failures? If yes, what measurement are we using and in what areas? If we have these baseline studies, we are able to know if there is progress or not. Do we have the statistical data of the entire reported cases in the state? Are the numbers increasing or they are decreasing? How many? There was a time we asked for data from the ministry, and the data they gave us was from SAC and the social welfare. So if you look at everything, it's like 33.
Wait, excuse me, sorry. Where is the ministry now? Are they here?
Yeah.
We are here.
Yes.
We are making our contribution.
Yeah. So we need a situation where we have a proper coordination to know exactly, just like this GBV dashboard thing that's coming up now at the federal level. But at the state level, we need to know. Somebody's using the word centralized now. We need to know. So that at the end of every quarter, how many cases, like in justice, FIDA, police, civil defense, human rights commission, we need a situation where all this data will be warehoused somewhere. Are we together now? So that we can now start having some, from there we can do analysis, compare with our baseline studies. Why are we losing cases? Frida mentioned a lot yesterday. So, if we are losing cases, what are we doing about it? Are we learning from those gaps, those lapses? How are we learning from them? How are we going to correct them? How many have been won and lost? Can we categorically say these are the number of cases we won in the state? These are the number of cases we lost. Like this in Okiria that went behind to bail our husband again. We were doing crisis management or damage control, and some of the reasons why all these things are there, we need to look at it. Why was it even delayed up to the point when she now had to go? Because it just appeared that we just abandoned her. After 4 or 5 months, nothing was happening. She was back to her father and mother's house. She has her 2 children looking at her every day. The husband has a bar, has a factory. The relations are taking over the property. She was already suffering. So, does that justify her to now do a U-turn? Why didn't we put her in a SAC center? These are some of the issues that we need to look at. So that where we have got it wrong, we need to correct it and move forward. What about the child early forced marriage? Are we looking at that area, or we are not focusing on it yet? Caritas Nigeria, JDPC, I know this is the area they are really focusing on. And so CSOs, we need to start also looking at these areas. Because when a girl child is deprived of development and you give her out to one, don't want to be sarcastic now, at the end of the day, you truncate
one grandfather.
You truncate her future. Alright? Who are the active actors and institutions in the state on GBV issues? What are they doing? Like I said, we're all doing a lot. But we need a proper coordination. Are they enough? Are they tackling the real issues? Are we really tackling the real issues? The issues that are embedded in this GBV? Are we really tackling the issues, or we are just beating around the bush, or we are just on the periphery? Do they have challenges? If yes, what are they? Yesterday, a lot of heat came on the police, right? And some also, the ministry shared some. But it's not about, we are not, without the police, you can't move forward on this issue. True or false? Hello, without the police, we can't move forward on this. So it's not that we hate the police, but we are just pointing out that we would have loved to do this, we would have loved to do this, but these are the things that we really need you to do. So some people were looking at it that they are attacking us. No, that's not the issue. We are looking at the problems and how we can fix them. Okay? So these actors now, they have statistical data to show progress or failures. The police, do they have data to show us about the fight on GBV? All the police command, or is it police command or police stations, divisions, do we have a coordinated or a date where all the GBV issues that were dealt with in the state report to, and we can easily tender that? Do we have that? These are issues that we should be looking at. What about the civil defense? You know, so that we can start knowing exactly. By the time all these reports are coming, from there we'll be able to know the region or area or local government or communities where it is more prevalent than the others. Then we'll start asking why. Okay, we said, do they have statistical data? If no, who is then responsible for collating this data at the state level for analysis, evaluation, to enable policy formulation? And I think that is where the Ministry of Social Development and Gender Issues comes in. We are proposing a system where the state ministry becomes, when I say the data house, yes, the harvesting spot. All these data coming in. From there, we're able to sit, do a thorough analysis and evaluation, so we can start looking at if we need a policy, right? Or the methodologies we are using is not working, how do we improve on it and all that? Thank God the ministry is there. What sort of documents, policies and laws does the state have in fighting and coordinating the SGBV scourge? What about the areas of progress made by the female folks? To sing the women folks' achievement, what is happening in this area? We just talk about GBV. We really don't talk about the successes of women. Okay? And this is part of what we are trying to push. So on my right, far right, you see current working tools. If I'm wrong, the ministry can correct me. These are the things I've identified, the tools that the ministries are using. the Edo State VAP law, the gender policy, which is going to be launched tomorrow. And fortunately, Safi was part of the drafting committee member. I think some CSO here too were part of it. Then you have the GBP training manual, the standard operating procedure on GBP, child right law, criminal law. But we are having to propose something. Community law. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I said I need an update on that. So I'm going to add that. And that just came on stream, is it not? Yeah. Thanks to our governor. Now, tools, policy direction in need for effective work. Early this year, we wrote to the ministry and we asked that the ministry do a baseline study. We didn't even know. Okay, you know, it says in Nigerian, the ministry needs to do a GDP baseline study. You know, and we were even proposing to the ministry that CSOs are on ground, right, to support. And up till now, we've not gotten any feedback. We asked for a strategic document. You know, because these laws, if you just look at them, it's all about fighting. Is it not so? But for the strategic document, look at what I wrote there. The benefits of the strategic document cannot be overemphasized. And it ought to warehouse all the laws, policies, and procedures that gives direction to the fight against GBV, as well as define the roles of actors, stakeholders, mainstreaming and the methodology of implementation of GBV matters. It should be noted that while the strategic document is a roadmap that gives the strategic direction of how identified problems should be solved, the current tools of the state merely show how to fight the identified problems. And if you even want to start scrutinizing these ones, you will be seeing gaps inside. Is it not so? And that's why we need a strategic document. Interestingly, during the time of Governor Shomole, they did a strategic document for the ministry. But that was when I was in government before I retired. But if you look at that document now, you will laugh. Because it's so outdated, it's so archaic to the present realities. It did not even capture anything on GBV. And so that's why we are calling for a review. Because that document was from 2010 to 2020. We're in 2023. So we are calling for a review of that document. We're also asking that FIDA and the ministry, with the Ministry of Justice, should push for a special court to try cases. These GBV cases. A kind of speedy thing. Like this in our area thing. Just imagine more than 5-6 months, we are still talking about prosecution of somebody that attempted to kill somebody. We were pushing that we should do a civil suit on him so that he can forfeit whatsoever he thinks he has achieved in life for the wife, because he's going to be in prison for another 30 years. So his family shouldn't be running his business. We went to the ministry, we went to FIDA, we went to the ministry, will say it's justice will say it's FIDA will say. It now looks as if you test him, this guy don't come again. Then all of a sudden we heard that the woman had gone to school and FIDA. So these are the things that we need to be looking at. Those gaps. Because the person you want to prosecute is not waiting for you to prosecute him. Is he waiting? He's thinking, he's trying to push. He needs to get out. So when you are doing your own bottleneck, what do you call it? Red tapeism and bureaucracy, the individual is trying to be smart. So these are the gaps, challenges that I want us to look at. Then, Fida just stepped out. Special courts. Then the VAT law. Interestingly, the ministry wrote Safi and asked that we translate the VAT law into Pidgin English. And I'm happy to announce we have translated and have produced VAT law in Pidgin. Edo State VAT law, a very simplified edition in Pidgin. For you to know it's really Pidgin, let me just read the front for you. Edo State government don't make to stop wahala and katakata between man, woman, and pikin, and the way we go take the day for our state. Okay? But you know, Safi is we are just an NGO, we are not a non-funded organization. We are not able to mass produce. But we've been able to do the translation. Translated it to BENIN language, we translated it to Ishan language. People are not clapping for Safi. Right? So it's in BENIN language, it's in Ishan language. We are supposed to have it in Afemai and all one, but the translation versions are not. The one that is ready now is the Pidgin. The reason why the rest has not come is that after the translation, we need another local person to proofread what this other person has done, so that we have a thorough book, a translation. So we want to appeal any that wants to collaborate to mass produce, you are welcome. The ministry has already gotten their copies, and I'll be leaving them to speak on it. Right? And we hope that this will get mass production and really get to the grassroots. And it's our own contribution on the fight against gender-based violence. Then we are also proposing to have a comprehensive reporting tool for stakeholders, so that we can start recording and documenting. For example, in education, we don't have any information coming from there. We know schools, we know what is happening in schools, is it not? Yes. We normally go to schools for sensitization. Who is recording that? You know, in the Ministry of Health, in the hospitals, there are some cases that are not reported, but they are treated. A situation where we can have a comprehensive reporting pattern, so that at the end of every quarter, we are able to know what is really happening in the state and how we can move forward. Okay, so we all know SMART. All CSOs know what is SMART. Is it not so? All right. For every project you want to do, everything you want to do, it must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be achievable, it must be what? Relevant and time-bound. So we'll start asking ourselves, the methodologies that we are currently using, the strategies that we are currently using in the fight against gender-based violence, does it meet this? Is it specific? We just talked about it not being measurable just now. Because we really can't tell if we want to be scientific. We can't tell if we are gaining the fight against gender-based violence. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think we can really tell. Because we don't have a baseline studies. If we have one, maybe we do in 2024. By 2025, we do another one. Then we are able to do and start taking actions immediately. All right. So I'm just trying to stress this because of not CSOs, because of the state actors. For SMART, what exactly are we trying to achieve? All of us are fighting for the same thing. We want to achieve the same thing. How do we know we have achieved it? And it's only through that scientific statistics that we can know that we are achieving. If we have a situation where we are having data flying in, maybe January, February, but then all of a sudden March, the thing just drops. We need to know why. Is it not so? Why is this thing dropping? Is it that it was not reported or the fight against or what? These are the issues that we are bringing to the table. Is it genuinely possible to achieve this goal? Is it possible we achieve this goal of fighting GBV? Remember, there was a time HIV and AIDS was reigning and prevalent. We all singing that song, is it not? Another challenge, another challenge. But today, we can tell the story. And if you notice, I'm not indicting any ministry, but if you notice, the way the Ministry of Health tackled this HIV and AIDS, it was to the grassroots. Is it not so? That even all NGOs, all health centers, everybody was involved. That was why when Mr. Bartholomew was talking about bringing in the local government, every local government has a social welfare department, but there is no synergy between them and the state. Does it contribute to the state objectives of development? Yes. The fight against, by the time women come in, development will skyrocket. Is it not so? Whom do we want to achieve this by? Right? So, looking at the 16 days activism theme, unite, invest to prevent violence against women and girls. If you look at the way the theme is stated, it's saying prevent. What we've been doing is what? It's reactive. It is when it happens that we start proactive.
That's part of prevention.
It is. But there are also mechanisms we can bring in to even make it not to happen. The traffic lights are there to prevent accidents, is it not so? When you see the green lights, you reduce your speed and stuff like that. Deterrence, like what Indomitable Youth is saying, deterrence can also help. So how do we key into this year's theme of International Women's Day? How many of us have seen the global gender gap reports? Okay, you've seen it. I think we'll need to just Google it, or I'll share the document. If I get your videos, I'll share the document. The Global Gender Gap Report is a production from the World Economic Forum, and the one for 2023 is out. This Global Gender Gap Report has been produced in 2006. Now, interestingly, this is the way the world economies are now going. They are not just focusing on GDP alone anymore. They are now also looking at the successes, the progress of women. Are we together now? And that the report is huge, but I'm just bringing out this. You can take your time to digest it. If you look at the economic participation and opportunity, Nigeria is ranking 54 out of.
That is good.
It's good.
We are always calling two now from below.
If you look at the education attainment, Nigeria is ranked 137 out of 146. if you look at health and survival, Nigeria is ranked 99 out of 100.
How did they get it?
46. I told you something about health, Ministry of Health just now, right? Okay.
Yes, sorry, I don't know. People are applauding for 137 over 146.
I wanted to finish before I respond.
It's a terrible result.
But if you look at what is even happening in the state, where children are not going in school, where nothing is happening in the village settings.
We are close to the mass. Yes, we are high. We are not low. We are on the higher.
Okay, look at it.
Okay.
In terms of political empowerment, we are 142.
Very.
In short, in this place, they just put Nigeria with countries like Afghanistan, Iran, all those.
Would I be 146? They didn't calculate it. I know what we are talking about.
Alright. So if you go to the World Economic Forum, the Global Gender Gap Index, you see page 17 and 18, you see this thing that I just brought up. This report provides a tool for consistent tracking of gender gaps across the economic, political, health, and education sphere, and is designed for leaders to identify areas for individual and collective action. So we need to pull ourselves out of that. The reason why I'm bringing that this gender global gap index up is because of the gender policy that is being launched tomorrow. Because it's not just about having documents, and we really don't know what we want to use them for. Okay? So that's now we have the FAP law, which we are using to fight GBV. We are now having the policy document, which the government is going to use to start mainstreaming gender in the states. That's why we are proposing that whatsoever we are documenting, whatsoever we are recording, we need to run the two pari passu, so we can know how we are moving. I said to accelerate progress towards gender parity, not only improve outcomes for women and girls, but to also benefit economies and societies more widely, reviving growth, boosting innovation, and increasing resilience. Women need to also come to the table. There was a project, I think it was Henny, there's a smile, but somebody was saying it. They came to a community and they were asking the men what they needed. And the men, what the men said was different from what the women said. Because men will always be men. Probably they will need a football field and all that. Whereas there's no health center, there's no primary school.
Or bar. Maybe need a bar.
So you see, that's why we are saying women need to also come to the table for deliberation, so that you have diverse ideas, and that's what creates development. We need to start projecting women and making them realize that they can do it. So I'm bringing out these points to just to emphasize the reason why we need to start projecting women based on this gender policy document that is coming up. How many of us knows that it was a woman that invented the dishwasher?
Dishwasher.
It was a woman.
But
it's not reported. Are we together now? A woman was the one that invented the dishwasher. The wiper in a car, it was a woman that invented it. How many of us know that?
We don't know. It's not reported. How will we know?
Is it because they know how to wash?
They are tired of washing plates. They have to innovate and see to get a helper. Yes, necessity.
How many of us know that a woman laid the foundation for the modern Wi-Fi and GPS? How many of us know that? A woman, Hedda Lama, Her invention was what laid the foundation for modern Wi-Fi and GPS globally. How many of us know that Stephanie discovered fiber that is now used for bicycles, tires, police protective vest? A woman. How many of us know that this lady, Rosalind Franklin, was the one that discovered the DNA double helix? Okay, you know. Great. And when she discovered it, 2 other men stole the idea and quickly got the patent and got recognized by the Nobel Prize. It was later they got to know that it was this woman. How many of us know that it was a woman that invented the computer coding language? Before then, it was numbers that was used. What about the theory of relativity? You always hear of Isaac Newton. That woman, Maria Curie, she was the one that laid the foundation. She ended up getting the Nobel Prize. So why are women's achievements and development?
I think they're reported, but not celebrated. If it's not reported, we'll be having this. So they're actually reported.
At the end of the day, you also see that to even get the patent right, it is difficult for women to get the patent. So the GBV fight is not just in Nigeria alone, or this gender disparity is global, but we need to also push it. Why I'm bringing this up is that women can do much more. All we need to do is help to promote this gender policy document that is coming up. It's going to be a state policy, it's going to be a state document, and all the things that are there, a lot of things are there. So when we want to be reporting issues, we need to start knowing how many women, for example, are in business in the States. How many are farmers or commercial farmers? How many girls are in school? How many are out of school? It's not just somebody rapes somebody rapes somebody. No. As we are reporting this, we are also reporting that. Okay, so I just need something short. Let me round up. What are we all working to achieve in this GPV fight? We all appear to be working, but our efforts lack proper coordination and focus. Working together with a defined strategy and applying the SMART goal is the synergy we need to achieve success in this fight. The Ministry of Social Development Agenda Issues needs to identify her internal and external strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It needs to know that all social welfare safeguard matters in the state falls within her government. If they know, it will be, the work will be easier. But if the state don't know that capacity, you don't know the threat you have, the internal, the weakness, you just keep working and working. The ministry is a very busy ministry. But is it strategic? The ministry, this is what I think we need to focus on. The ministry does not know it has a huge standing army waiting for marching orders, but she needs to romance and lobby the CSOs. Is it not so?
Seriously.
I think we should clap for CSOs. We are a large standing army in the state. The ministry does not know how to utilize us yet. They are not partnering properly, they are not collaborating properly. I'm not accusing them, I'm only identifying our weaknesses. They need to know that they have they need to know that they have a waiting army ready for orders. Is it not so? Yes. They are your army of volunteers. All we need is a strong coordination strategy. Even Safi, ordinary Safi, we have enough volunteers. People that will come and do work for you without collecting money. Yes, that's what CSOs do. Some persons might be so neck bent on money, but most of us, we do like what we said, pro bono services. You know, so the ministry need to identify that. If the ministry needs to do something at Akoko, for example, you don't need to be traveling from here to Akoko. Is it not? You have people there. These baseline studies we are even saying, we have CSOs scattered all over the state that you can utilize. So that's why we call for a multi-stakeholders approach to fight this scourge. We have so many stakeholders here, and what are we after? Strong policy direction and documentation, better reporting template and format for data gathering, dedicated lines, toll-free lines, that's working. Okay? When I was in social livelihood of Newmark, there was a project, I was social livelihood, we had 2 toll-free lines, you know, and it was working well. And anytime they call and all that, I know the gains we made from it. So it's key. Better coordinating strategy, designated desk officer responsible for data collection and reporting in each organization. For example, the police would have, for every police station, there should be a desk officer that will gather that information and send it to Madam at the state. She, after coordinating everything, she now sends to the ministry. The same thing with civil defense. That's how we can. And our own, if you call us for data analysis, we will do it free. We won't charge for anything. If you want assistant collaboration, however you want it, call the CSOs. Because whatever you are doing, you can't do it the way the CSOs are doing it. Because we know at the state level, there are a lot of bottlenecks and all that. Okay, so Mr. Newton talked about the objective of the workshop, and it is just something like this. At the end of the day, we should have a resolution and a communique of what going forward. We need to recommend for a policy think tank to any gender-based violence. We know there is a committee at which Dr. Jude is part of as a we know. Yes, I know. The state, I'm just talking of our CSO. Such committee, whatever data that is there, needs to also be housed in the ministry so that the CSOs can also have access to those data. That's how we work together. Then we are proposing a reporting tool to be developed so that all these areas can be captured, not just about GBV alone, but other success stories can also be captured. Then, let's understand. Thank you very much. Yes. So if you want to collaborate with us, even if it's 50 copies you want to, you can do. We'll just add your name there and we print. The more copies we have, we'll print, we'll collaborate. Wow, please. Reverend Mother has just made my day today. I know Echoes, Madam just came in. I was talking about the Pidgin English verb law that Safi just translated and produced. Yes, and we are saying that we need people want to join hands and we want to mass produce it. The ministry was the one that asked us to do it. And we, apart from this pigeon, we already have BENIN and ASAP. So this pigeon is the one that is out now. Reverend Father just told us they are going to support. Thank you so much, Father. Echoes of women will support. Wow. Thank you. Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Abraham, for that presentation. A very quick one here. A policy is being launched tomorrow, right? I want to find out how many civil society organizations have been part of that policy creation process. It's very important, because if all the beautiful things we're saying here, or we've been saying since yesterday, they are not in that policy document, it means there's still going to be a problem in the future during the implementation. Then two, the policy, does it actually capture how results, like you said, or progress are going to be measured as we are going forward? So I'm looking at the M&E component of that document. Does it have an M&E component rich enough? If there is no M&E component, again, you will have to suggest to the ministry that there is need to have a strategy. Maybe a 5-year strategy or a 3-year strategy, as the case may be, where they will have all the components of how to measure the results. So if you don't have that also documented, it will be difficult for you to apply your tools at the end of the day. So that is just the quick one I want to mention. It's not enough to just invite civil society organization to come and understand the state policy. Civil society organizations should be part of the creation process, right?
Yes, thank you.
Joe, take the question to Dana before you answer it.
Like I said, apart from Safi, who else is here that, okay, Echoes of Women, Dr. Jude, and inevitable youths. Gas for initiative. Yes, so since everybody is here, that's your question. I will give Dr. Jude to answer. Doctor, you answer this one.
The
thing that Mr. Newton said.
No, after saying one man may not be able to talk again. And as you said, I want everybody to hear me, and both the ministry and CSO here present. We need a defined strategy and apply smart goal for intervention. What I'm saying is, during the smart project, I was the hall, second time the hall, no room in local government, invite local government to be part of the process of giving out the start of keys and all. I was shocked that our donors were there, and they were telling them donors in my presence that will do better than us in reaching out to the grassroots and all. That it will be a mistake using us CSO. I was shocked. We are asking them, we are partnering together with local government, but they are telling they don't work with us again. They should work with the local government. So if we are means of gender issue and so also have that mentality, it will not help us. Let us have a defined approach so that we work together. There is no way you can do it alone. You need us and we need you. Let us have opportunity to see how we can work together. Not go back to our donor to tell the donor, come to us. Ministry will do better than that. If there is anything we are doing and you train us well, we can be programming and involve you that wherever you are coming to rooming, like what we have now, we are invited to rooming, we can pay for your hotel, we can also give you again. This part of the thing we are building into our strategy to collaborate with government. Two, when we have stakeholders with some of the people are working with, localizing trafficking in person in every local government, we are engaged man, the private sector. They promise us if the government sector tomorrow, this victim support group, that they are going to contribute. Then again, no span. Promise me for that when it is set to come private, I will give you money to put there for government. Private sector are ready to work with government. Let government collaborate with private sector and CSO. They should not be shy to do their duty. Or that's what I want to beg. That I was asking for the ministry will share. Then they open up and open with everybody. Then they have a smart strategy where they can bring all together. We are in the rural area. Everything we are doing about government is in the city here. Nobody knows what government is doing in the village. And not now, you can find out. Secondly, when we are talking about health, when we are having health now, what we are telling the government, local government will have a response unit or local government where we can issue of human trafficking can be handled. In 2019, 28, I have a training for all the DPOs and all in with Caritas in this official mess in BENIN here, June 28, 2019, on what trafficking is. Because the police, they are the ones destroying this issue. They don't know what you're trafficking, they don't know. Even to get that issue we are talking about now, police, they need to train their men. We come across a judge who is not aware about bad law. A judge is not aware about bad law. There are many police they don't even know about this bad law. If you look at the one who puts you on the road to correct it. So they don't know about bad law. We need to train them. I was training police in 2009, 2011 on conflict management, resolution and communication. It was the DPO there, Ida Muhammad said, Father, you are wasting your resources. What concerns these people is not this training. Come here and be preaching. So they now ask us to train people on human rights that when people do their rights, we need to be followed.
Uma posso, não uma posso. Nossa, Please do first. Como não? O que eu digo? Se não, amigo, stop and não sei, onde posso lá, chega to the shop.
Okay.
No
Okay.
No, keep me. No, keep me there. I know. Hmm?
And invite partners. So that can continue from there. There's a lot that you can get from that. So well done for that presentation, and also let's start from it. Somebody said welcome to the club. Yeah? Do you know the club? Heartbreak club. They invite government, when they now come, they collect everything. Dr. Julie, what do you? They don't do you. So Aroka was laughing, saying welcome to the club. We've all experienced it. Once we involve the father, you are. But you know, we always work with them.
We don't have any choice.
That's what we are about now in this next section. We want to see how we can actually strengthen CSO organizations. We've had a lot of issues coming up. What do we need to strengthen? And also, as per government support, what can we do, or what areas? It's not enough for us to bring out all the issues. We are looking at specific areas we can now talk about. Are we together? Yeah. And what can we do? Call to action, what next? Very, very important. Yes, you will speak, but I just want to give the foundation so that when we begin the discussions, we'll be very, very direct. We'll be smart, specific. And I think a lot has been coming up from our discussions and also his presentation. I think we are talking about data, right? Starting from the collection. Data is useless, you cannot make sense out of it. Are we together? Yeah. And what Missy was saying when he talked about the program for tomorrow, when you say data, yes. What information
is coming out from the data after processing it. So it means that when you are collecting your data, what were you pursuing? Those indicators that you want to measure, they are key. I want to be reporting on is very, very important. What numbers, what percentages, what area? Is it the driver talking about? Or what is actually driving the fueling, you know, the issue? Is it the outcomes you want to see in the cases? So very, very important. Beyond data collection, when you analyze what key information do you need to have? Because when you want to engage the government and partners, you have to be able to produce this information so that they can see the benefits of investing resources. But I mean both time, both efforts and funds. And this information must key into their own aspirations, their policies. Are we together? And when we talk about funding, there's something I always want us to understand. There is never enough fund for anything. I don't know if did we see last year's budget breakdown? Okay, what about the budget proposal for next year? Who have seen it? It's been trending now. National, less of hope. You know when they say state can really do, state always wait for national, because we know the money allocation, then they are also internally generated their revenue. Finish now. So it flows from national. And more importantly, the Ministry of Women Affairs, federal ministry. We always say that is among the least funded ministry. But if you look at last year's budgets, you will laugh. At even at the small thing that was given to them, see the area that they took it to. Did you see? Just one LGA sent to empower women. It was the LGA of the origin of the minister for. Yes. So you see, a lot has to be done. You must be able to show with the information you have, okay, why what you want to do is aligning with the government policy. Are we together? Hello? We are talking about how we can show up the naira, you know, create more jobs, build more infrastructure. We are not talking about gender-based violence. That's what they are concerned. Which one will they give priority to? So you see, so you must be able to see how you can key in your information into those other things that's of priority to them. As far as not just data, the information is key. Is key, and that is where you come in. After you have collected those data, how do you analyze it and present it to start? If they invest in your GVP efforts, it's going to have a multiplier effect on infrastructure, on health, on education. Are you getting it? It's very important. I think we should think about this also as we discuss. And I think there's an issue that also came up. I think it was yesterday or this morning. She was telling me that we have that the correctional facilities is now on the concurrent list. Yesterday. I know what you mean by that. I mean that the state can also what? Yes. Unlike before, when it's in the purview of what? Just the federal government. So we're talking about the issues of sheltering, you know, where you can place would have issues with the law. Now it's important we look at those state government now, can we now advocate to then have their own correctional facilities? There's also gender friendly. Are you getting it? So these are issues. Witness protection also, we've been talking about the challenges. Why people don't come to report and also follow through the process, because of this protection issue, safety issues. So what can we also do about that? I think we should just bring this before. And also lastly, case management. And there's a lot of training on case management in the States over the years.
I know CPN did one some time ago, some years ago, as part of that. I know now people have done something, and I'm sure some other decisions. What Abraham was saying, he said there's a pool of volunteers, manpower for the ministry. I hope they are listening. Okay, when it comes to manpower now, that you have a lot of people that you can work with. When as far as saying pro bono, so if we have this pool of social workers who have been trained as case managers, they are there in the CSOs. So the ministry can see how they can leverage on this expertise and to push their case properly. So these are some of the things we need to look at as we move forward, because we are now in the session of discussing the call to action. What are we going to do next? And what are those areas we feel we have to strengthen CSO capacity and also government in achieving the objectives we set for this program? So, okay, your hand has been up. We will hear from you now. Yes.
Thank you. I think we should take this matter to see it as a personal matter, not the Minister of Gender, nor the CSOs. Number one, the case we are talking about, all of us, because the publicity we give to that woman case, we violated that woman's rights in so many ways. And when you expose your attention, media is never. We have a case we won in the Federal High Court now, and we didn't pronounce it because that judgment will also create another action. And for the ministry, May NGO stream, we are in the street of NGO, and we that live in the street, we have so many opportunities. Somebody can call me and say, "Purpose, go and do this research, this data for me." And when I come to ministry is asking, "Are you registered with us?" What I'm doing is not about registration. It's about Edo people. When you welcome, as far as the person is working in Edo State, whether that person is registered or not, welcome that person and collect that useful data. The person is reporting. That is why sometimes you go to a forum, you see, they will tell you this is coming from Edo, you'll be surprised. There are a lot of NGOs that come to this state without even working with the known face you see here. They will come, they will do their research, and they will go. But when the ministry open their door to welcome anybody on bringing data, on this data gathering, and you will now know, and this thing is happening in my state. We sometimes get, like on data gathering, it's not only CSOs that will gather data. My organization, we have a fund to do gender-based violence, and most of the case we have was family matter that we do and we settle, and the family will reunite. But when the person was coming with, I want to go and report this gender-based violence. The case was so mighty, this one will go to jail, I will not go to jail. We are not the only person doing that. This thing happen in the churches. This thing happen in the traditional institution. If we don't report this, we will not have data. And if they don't say data is not juicy enough, the CSO will not get grants. They are implementing their project they are implementing now that I discussed. Edo State is not among. Why? Because of the data that we are putting. But the victim, people who are coming from that community, they are crying every day. But the data is not representing them. So if we really want to do whatever we want to do, whether policy, child rights law was developed and we have reviewed it over the years. But that law today that can use and apply that law, they are not up to 70%. So we need to, the ministry to open up and welcome everybody to start gathering this data. Abraham just gave a presentation on data collection. All of us say, let's talk about it. We are going home. I will not come with the concrete steps. Okay, the CSO and the ministry agree to start this baseline data. The ministry might not have the funding to do it. Some of us have funding. We have funding that is related to gathering that data. If there's this collaboration, there's this synergy, we can therefore say, okay, it's still data collection. Let us use this data to cover this space and this space. And in that data collection, it should not be a thing for the CSO. It should be a thing for every institution in Edo State. If, for example, a church have a tool that any family issue want to settle, more than bring and come out, waiting they talk about, what was it? From that information coming from the church, we now know that this is a problem. It's alcohol that is causing the problem. No, it is poverty that is causing the problem. It is jealousy that is causing the problem. All this will enrich whatever document we want to produce, and that will be a people's document. But if we are talking about baseline, I will go home from this meeting, and we are still talking about baseline when we meet next year. This gathering will just come and gather and talk about baseline, and that baseline is the one thing. I have saw the power of data. CSO don't decide who fund them. Funding are given to each state based on the data that they provided. If you don't have enough data, they will go to a state. We have an issue with the HIV space. We are of this one, all the program we are taking to the south, because that was where the organization believed to work. Because of the data they are generating that is coming from that side, which made that state to become a priority to the funder. And the only way we can do this is when the ministry is ready to work with us. Because if you don't have strong CSO, even if they give you that money to implement that project, the CSO will always come attacking. And the CSO will not get funding because the most authentic data is the one that comes from the ministry. And it's because people don't believe the data that is coming from the ministry, or they don't have access to this ministry. That is why they are engaging people to go and conduct data. And when I have one-on-one relationship with you, but how many people have that one-on-one relationship with you? That will not say, McDonald's, I want to do this thing. So when that door is open, people will come. Later we'll finish the legality. But let us know that the ministry is able to coordinate the activity of the CSO and all the group in this data gathering. When we have that, I think we are moving towards prosperity.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're trying to actually document this. I think what is coming out from what he's saying is that the CSOs can only lead the process for this state data collection, working with the ministry, because the ministry might not have the resources to do that. And I think that is where we talked about identifying 2 networks on GBV. I think they can take the lead on that, working with the ministry to see that coming to fruition. Yeah. You want to add something? Okay.
Okay, thank you. I hope it's not going to be like a reprisal, but I just want to try to put things in perspective. I requested that hope when Mr. Abraham was speaking that it was off camera, because some of the things were correct, but in terms of perspective, we needed to get it right. So let me start from my own place of strength, or seemingly place of strength. I function as the head of planning, research and statistics in the ministry, and that makes me the state validator for the national GBV dashboard. In January, was it this year? 37 organizations, MDAs, CSOs were trained and profiled on how to use 2 GBV tools, the incidence form and the service form, to impute data on the dashboard. I think from that time till now, we've had several back and forth with everybody that was profiled. Some say they didn't get login details, some that got said they misplaced it, they lost the phone, and all of that. I could actually just display the dashboard now for you to see. But in as much as I'm tempted to, there's internet, there's projector, but I don't want to, because it hasn't gotten to that yet. Everything we are saying concerning data is correct. But like I said yesterday, there is no one organization, entity that can get this right. We need everybody. And when we say we need everybody, we don't need us coming to trade blames. It won't help. I have also had the opportunity to be on platforms where we have tried to review the way state actors engage with non-state actors as NGOs. Some states are engaging with CSOs and NGOs without financial requirements for them for registration, while some states require it. The logic around the story for some is that if you don't pay for something, you don't value it. While for some, it's like they are complementing government efforts, so why make them pay for it? Both extremes are valid because of the relativism in the matter. Please, I will appeal to us. Everything we are saying today points to one thing. We are all passionate about moving this matter from where it is to where we think it should be. My permanent secretary was here this morning, for those of us who were not around, and she spoke, and I can tell you, she was not feigning it when she said, yes, she was not feigning it when she said she needs you to come and let's talk, let's work together. While I walked out to the car, she gave me a simple directive. I want the list of everybody that attended this meeting. One, I want at least one person from each organization to have a meeting with me this week. The reason she's saying that is because this talk about data is not what ministry can do on its own. So if we have these people here and they have access to data at grassroots, why is ministry struggling to have it? The dashboard, in a few days, probably, I don't know if I'll still be going, but next week, we'll be having another review meeting at the national level for the dashboard. I'm supposed to be in that meeting. I'm not so sure because I'm waiting for a sponsor. Share I'm off camera. Because I have attended several this year, and for those that I got approval to attend, I have over 500,000 of my own money locked down. So why should I do that? I have rent to pay, it's due. I'm a father of children. So if I don't have a sponsor, I won't go. The most I can do is to send my report to national, and I know what will happen. They will not take it. But I will just do it because, yes, I have the report. Take. It will not be projected because I am to defend that report. Please, I said yesterday, when we say let's synergize, let's collaborate, let's generate, let's mobilize resource, it's not everything that is money. I can tell you that some organizations, okay, Brevat is not here, Atland is here. Those two organizations made two of my participation easy. Not Atland, yes, Brevat supported in a way that I didn't stress so much. But you see, there are some organizations here, you're getting to know, I'm not blaming anybody, that if you were aware and I said the meeting is in Lagos, you tell me, okay, we can't pay your flight, but we have somewhere you can stay. Right? That is collaboration. So, can we open the space? I can assure you, ministry is not operating a fake open door. It's really open. Yes, it's open. Come. Like the PS has directed, By the time we're done with this meeting, I'll meet with EU Act, British Council, Safi, and then we'll agree on the people that will be having that meeting with management, because we need to have that meeting. Registration in country. For some states, they have said no, we don't do it. Why some states say yes, we do it, and government is planning on
Put it down. That means I have to go offline now.
She's from Aromoko, yes. The auntie said she's lying, that she had that registered phone number. So I said to her, I'm not interested in that. I think she has given me